floor, V.
Lyricism is a craft. Leave the gimmicks to the half-hearts who can only walk the beaten path and rock the stereotypical mask. They stole our swag, pimped us out, called it mainstream, and we said bun it. The only stream we feel is the one that flows from our current. We were the genius, wide-eyed, trying to fraternize with the gatekeepers to the mansion. And every time we got too black, no exposure was the sanction. He couldn't resist the rhythm, stayed making pee from our riggers, saying, please continue to create like gods, just so long as you spit like niggas. But we're them perverted revolutionaries. Don't let us in the door, we kick it down. Seal the roof, we smash through the ceiling. And now we've become wise enough to construct our own buildings. Their mansion is a minor, to their industry we don't aspire. Now London's burning car, we ignite the UK fire. So spit high caliber MC, rapper, bring the spoken word poet. Vocalists construct those melodies of resonant frequencies and send it out to the world. If Omawale Malcolm was a poet, we are the means necessary. Carrying Yah Santa was bullets on the winds of our words. If Messiah was music, we are the whirlwind and the storm. Be black as you wanna be, this is your platform. Like how the Most High created the world, it's recognized as the first gift. gotkushTV, we bring you Wordsmith.
Alright, we're moving on. The next question comes from a fantastic motivational speaker. She's done an amazing TED Talk, Michelle Raymond.
Greetings, everyone. This is a question directed to the women, but anyone can answer. What are your views on the growing discrimination against black women who still chemically straighten their hair or wear weave, like I do? And what's your thoughts on it? Do you feel that we're still by white people?
Jamelia.
Yeah, I just kind of feel like we have to. Well, first of all, let's speak about us as a community. We have to stop judging each other and speaking down to each other and policing each other. Our freedom exists in us being able to express ourselves in whatever way we choose. We should be able to wear our hair however we want. Nobody should be telling you, and specifically though, outside sources, and when I say outside sources, I'm talking about, you know, in the workplace, anywhere that you're being discriminated against, you know, in your schools and stuff like that. Those places, I think that's a much bigger issue, and we need to actually start putting something together and some sort of legislation to ensure that this doesn't happen, because the policing of black bodies is also a form of oppression, and it feeds into that. I don't know, I just kind of feel like we're still enslaved in some way, and we need to, this is a way that we break the chains. But internally, you know, I don't business whether or not whatever you want to do with your hair. It's not for me to police it. You know, maybe my child, she's not allowed to shave off her hair, but you know, that's a mother to a child. But I think, you know, we have to allow each and every single one of us to express and live authentically. It's not my business.
Yeah.
I personally feel like she said it all. I will say two things. One, I feel like there's a hypocrisy sometimes in the community, of African community, no matter what country you're from, where people will be like, oh, her hair is straight, it must be straightened, right? Or she has blonde hair, what the hell is wrong with her? What if she was inspired, not by a white woman, but an African woman from the continent who came out of her mother's womb with blonde hair, right? Not just the albino community and the black community, but a lot of children, it's in our DNA. A lot of children in Africa, in areas that don't even know what a chemical is, have hair that is blonde or have green eyes or blue eyes. And maybe the person you emulate sometimes could be not the white person and a black person. So I just wanted to put that point out there, reminder that we have all shades, all kind of hair textures, the list continues. But I do feel like if you are doing it to make a white person accept you, like in the workplace, for instance, now that is a problem to me. And that is where I stand up and I say, sister, don't do this for someone else, do it for yourself. I remember being in a situation where I worked in corporate, I worked in finance for 13 and a half years roughly. And I remember being, you know, in a place, you know, I'll name the place was Credit Suisse First Boston. And I was sitting there working with an ETF trading floor And there was I normally wear my hair kinky curly, and I was going to this event, and not because of the event, I just wanted to straighten my hair, and I blow dried it out. And I came in, and this Irish woman felt the need to tell me, "Oh, you look so much prettier with your hair straight." And I was like, and the next day I came in with my hair curly again. And she was like, why did you go back to curly? And I'm like, because I love myself. I'm not looking for your validation, right? And that is something that we need to teach our children and make sure our girls understand that it's not the straight hair that makes them pretty. If her hair is short and kinky, look at what they did with, I hate to use the name, but Beyonce with her daughter. Her daughter had kinky hair, and I remember I would see in the press all the time, she doesn't comb her daughter's hair. What in bloody world are you talking about? That's her daughter's hair. Let the child be a child. So don't change your hair for anyone else. Do it for yourself. If you like a style, then you like the style. You want to bleach it, because we have all shades back home.
All right.
But don't do it for someone else.
Bring it home. All right. I want to hear from some of the men on this issue. Sorry, sister. I'm going to come back to you. But I want to hear from some of the men on this system. Sarah's got his hand.
Yeah, I don't think it's a secret that there's been a historical demonization of black hair, and I think maybe the reason is an overcompensation because of the demonization of black hair. So I always say this to women: if you can feel as beautiful with your wig on and a perm in as you do when your hair's natural, then you ain't got a problem. Now, the problem now becomes if you feel more beautiful when your hair is straight or when you do have a blonde wig on, then you may have a problem.
I'd like to say I agree with you there, brother, about the fact that we need to feel beautiful, whatever our hair is like. And I've noticed there's a movement of the young women, say mid-20s going forward now, getting older, where it's not just about our hair anymore, but we are dressing in African cloth. And all of this is showing that whether our hair is straight, kinky, natural, perm, whatever it is, we're identifying with our Africanness in other things other than just our hair. So I've also noticed there's a movement that where women are straightening or treating their hair, that we are doing it and putting styles that are unique to us. So it's not just about straightening the hair or bleaching the hair, but we're doing styles that are unique to us and nobody else could copy that going forward. So I think with this movement of us as black women in the way we are dressing, taking pride in our fabrics, taking pride in our jewellery, whatever we do with our hair, all adds to that beauty. But I do agree that if we are not confident enough that should our wig fall off or should our weave drop out, that we can't cope, then we have an issue there, because then we are buying into that old stereotype. But I do think we're moving and have moved away from that. And if we can educate our younger children in the beauty of their African fabrics, their African jewellery and their hair, then we're becoming African every day in everything that we do. Thank you.
All right, we want to hear from you mentioned some of the younger people. Let's hear from some of the younger people.
I was just going to say that I think it's important for us to all remember how important our hair is. Our hair used to determine our marital status, our wealth, the tribe we're from, and I think that's what they used, was one of the tactics they used to control us, was get rid of the hair, because we knew how important our hair was. And if they can see that we're having a problem within our own community still with the hair, they're still in control. That's what I think. And I think, however you want to wear your hair, wear your hair. If you want this, you want that. And who are we to judge each other? If we've been judged by people outside and they're seeing that we're judging each other, they're still controlling us. That's what I think.
Big up the Empress for that point. Very key. It's about what do you actually know? Are you actually educated onto about the health of your hair and all these things? Are you? And as black women or as black people, I feel like we are the ones who are supposed to be advocates for this planet. This is controversial. I'm not trying to offend anyone that wants to wear wigs or anything like that, but we just got to be conscious about how much we are spending on the extensions and all these kind of things, and what it is doing to the planet, in fact. Because more and more I'm noticing on my Instagram, which I'm trying to get off because that's another unhealthy thing that we need to get off of as well, that they are showing more and more images that suit the white supremacist view about what beauty is. It comes back to beauty standards. And we might think that we're living free when we express ourselves, because we are naturally expressive people and creative people, but we've got to be conscious when we're doing it. That's the key thing, the key message to remember.
Dr. Felder?
Yeah, I just wanted to, once again, we have to remember where these ideas are coming from. Like, we just talked about beauty, but we also have to, I also have a question for the audience I'm gonna ask at the end, and I want you guys to answer it. But we also have to remember that not only are the ideas and what we think of beauty are coming from foreign sources, I mean, the way we interact and the way we think, things that we think are normalized are not necessarily normal for us, right? And especially when it comes to our hair, I like the young sister that reminded us, our hair is our glory, our crowning. So one, we haven't even reversed this question on black men. Black men need to think about why do many of us, even before we start balding, right? We cut our hair down to the bone. Right? These are things that we have to think about. Is that attached to white supremacy too? Was this forced upon us on the plantation or during colonization, so on and so forth? And I've just gone through I guess a transformation and initiation, and one of the things that the elders had asked me was I should consider cutting my hair. And I've always noticed, I've had locks for a very long time, and I've noticed no matter what the socioeconomic status of the person had a negative opinion about my hair being locked, it was just, I don't understand, where is that coming from? Like, is there something like the Furians in terms of like, I forgot the movie's name, with Britain, right? That they hunt down, what is it with this hair, when we grow our hair as it is, why is it, even in our own communities, that people attack them, whether they're from the Caribbean or from the continent? So, I mean, it's like, it's because I have locks, is there something, issue, not inside this room, but in the greater black society, right? When we see this, what does this represent? When the pharaohs themselves, this is a crown, right? When you wear your hair, like the sister reminded us, it's your power. It brings something to you, no matter what it was. So I'm just asking that question to the audience.
All right.
To the panel.
All right, my sister.
Greetings. Just as somebody who will always rock my hair, will never buy hair, will never ever, never have, never will. I want to say this to my sister and them: wear your hair however you want. Point number one. Point number two: if you're gonna buy the thing, be the person that people come to buy the thing. Right. We are a commodity. We are sending people's kids to private school. They're living a better quality of life than we ever will from our purchases. So we need to be wholesaling that shit, and they need to be coming to us for our thing that we're popularizing. That's all I'm saying. So wear your hair how you want to. That's how my halo talks.
Ras, you want to say something about this for moving forward? Kai, obviously, you know, I come from, like I said, Abrahamic Rasta kind of tradition. So, you know, say long time. I think we might have what's the word I'm looking for? We might have familiarized the bunda weave kind of philosophy that I feel like is kind of coming out now quite negatively. But I think it came from more of a place of us loving our sisters, you know, like that. I don't take that position myself. How my sister is, I love my sisters, and I feel like for us as men, instead of just bunning weave and saying, I can't believe it, yeah, man needs to, what man needs to do is, we need to talk beauty into our sisters. We need to tell them they're beautiful regardless, you understand? But let them know our preference is for her to be her natural self. You know what I'm saying? That's our preference. We want you as you when you wake up with the mutton in your eye and everything. No. We love them like that. We love them like that. You understand? And then they gotta go wash their face. But what I'm saying is we have to show our sisters that we love them exactly how they are, innit? That's our position as men, innit? You know what I'm saying? That's our job. It's not our job to dehumanize them because of the self-hate that already is coming from above. So it's like, even if they are doing it because of self-hate, then we as a brother is gonna come on and put more self-hate upon the self-hate that's already there. Doesn't make any sense, yeah? I think what we also need to recognize that if you look at African culture, the women have always done their hair in many different ways. But I think we do need to look at white beauty standards and what they're pushing, and we need to be clear as to why we are doing this. And I think the last thing is the health of our hair, you know what I'm saying? Because I think one good thing about the natural movement, it's not just about us being proud of who we are, but it's also a lot of women damage their scalp, damage their hair, trying to do the weave, trying to straighten, so I think that's another point that needs to be made. Thank you.
All right. We're going to hear one more person. I'm going to hear from someone that hasn't got any. Actually, you know what? I want to hear from Robin, since he hasn't got any hair. and then we're going to move. I want to hear from the twins because one of them's got a lot of hair and the other twin hasn't. And is there a dynamic there? So, Robin Walker.
Okay, I'm looking around, I'm seeing people with smartphones. So you might want to Google something. I'm seeing some smartphones, yes? Google this, Japan, B-girls style. B-girls style. B, letter B. Now the reason why I'm getting you to do this, some people aren't doing it, and if you don't do it, you're not going to learn the ting. Just saying. Okay, now the reason why I'm saying this is there's certain information that is kept from the community. As you can see, there are Japanese girls trying to look like the sisters in this room. Yes? Now, let's face it, today's the first time you knew that, right?
Yes.
Right. What, they had done such a style? First time? Right, so the main point then is this is not public information, but it should be. And if people are trying to look like you, then why are you trying to diss your own program by, you can fill in the blanks.
Rubber muffin competition.
Brother Red Pill.
Yeah, so I decided to grow my hair out, I think last year. And it's been a beautiful experience. You know, both of my parents from when we was born have rocked afros to this day. You know what I'm talking about? And there's a power in your crown. Like, this is your antenna. When did we, I thought that we was all in school and whatnot. I thought we was all in class learning. Like, Chris Rock came and tried to give y'all the game. He told you good hair. Like, this conscious thing, either we gonna do this or we not gonna do it. Either we gonna do this all the way or we not. This is about getting back to where we was lost. Like, this hair that I'm growing, I'm in the airports, I'm traveling, I'm moving around, and people are staring. But they staring because they can't grow this hair.
Word.
No, I'm dead ass.
Come on.
They staring because these antennas, this non-ether, these coils, they're sticking up. When the sun rises, it's rising up with it.
Come on.
Like, that's amazing to other people. And we don't realize that. Brother Nova asked what's the thing with long hair? The thing with long hair, subconsciously and consciously, to people who really don't got non-ether hair, is that it reminds them of the person who used to give them hell before they broke them. Those long locks, when they used to go up against us and get their ass beat, that's the hairstyle we was wearing. You feel what I'm saying? Those afros, them kiki froze, that's what they used to deal with us when we wasn't so, cultivated and domesticated. And the aspect of the crown, when it's laid down, even for the men, this is no shots towards my sisters whatsoever. The aspects towards the crown, when they laid it down and when they cut it off, was almost akin, you a religious man, right? To the Samson story. Because white men don't grow locks. So Samson, who they shaved his locks to take his power from him, that was a symbol of them conquering him. When they conquered us, they shaved our hair. Go ask anybody from Eritrea and Ethiopia. You dig what I'm saying? When they came into Kemet and they conquered us, they shaved our hair. You dig what? When they was in the Americas with the Indians, they would shave their hair. That's a military campaign. We are embroiled in what is known as a culture war. Like the sister over there was saying about the fact that, yeah, you could wear whatever you want, but you don't own it. That's an aspect of a culture war. There are people, we was in a spot yesterday, right? Beautiful event, all melanated, right? Then the Indians came in afterwards because they had something going on. Do you know they would not even speak to us? Yeah. These the same people, like the sister said, we putting them and their children through all kind of private schools. But there's a culture war going on, and there's an assumption because we are a vassal state people, meaning that we running around acting like we got it going on. No, you conquered. These people know that they conquered you. And other people that's coming from other countries, they caught the skinny too. Don't stop. We need to stop acting like we in this fantasy world. This Peppa Pig society, like this make-believe, Thomas the Train type of thing. Like, this is not make-believe. These people know about what the hell is going on. There's a culture war, and these people were your culture was a dominant culture on this planet for hundreds of years. And if you want to be respected, if you want people to notice you, if you want even prophecy to be fulfilled, you got to get back to your culture.
Words. Come on.
That's all I say.
Come on.
Brother Luke, you want to say something right quick?
What he said. I mean, in my own prime, I'm getting around to it. You know what I'm saying? I did it first, he'll tell you. I did it first. You know what I'm saying? And then I went back to my low hair. We're talking about the effects and not the causes. We have self-identity issues, and people is talking to be free. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people is just talking about the effects, but the causation is colonization and marketing. You know what I'm saying? Now, it might not register the same way, because I feel that a woman should express herself whatever way she feels is going to elevate her self-esteem and her beauty. But just like colorism and just like beauty standards, we were successfully marketed to by a westernized marketing machine, a multi-trillion-dollar one. So when we squeeze our sponge, this is the stuff that comes out. You know what I'm saying? For us to even attempt to deny that there's colorism, for us to even attempt to deny that there's issues with beauty standards and the way that melanated women look at themselves, and I'm not saying all melanated women that have weaves or want to blonde their hair, but a few of them, let's say it. You know what I'm saying? They want to self-identify because they want to feel beautiful, and these are the standards in society. Why do I know this? Because the women who I have dealt with have told me this. They said, look, I got a perm because when I was going through high school, the boys that I wanted only wanted the light-skinned girls with the straight wavy hair, you know what I'm saying, with the shit on the side. Okay? With the edges, with the S-curl edges. You dig what I'm saying? So I don't like the stuff that I talk about. You feel me? I'm not coming up with this stuff. This is based on research, based on people that I personally know, and me. I listen a lot, and I'm very observant. You dig what I'm saying? So I don't tell people what they should be doing. The only thing that I can do is offer my analysis based on the things that I have absorbed, based on critical analysis, conversation, and observation. You dig what I'm saying?
Hold on, real quick. I want to veggie back that a lot of that programming started with the Barbie doll. It started with the Disney princess. It started with a lot of that. Like, media has come up very often in this discussion. We have to be honest with what has happened in the realms of programming. I just met a queen from the Congo this week, and it has shifted my perspective on a lot of things that I thought that I knew. Because I've met a lot of queens, but not a real one. And she's from the continent. So I'm saying in my mind, I'm like, yo, I need to introduce my daughter to her all day, every day, because the concept of what a queen and what a princess is, it has to shift. We cannot hold on to this Disney Mattel version of what a princess and what royalty and what a queen is, because it is damaging us subconsciously, consciously, in all kind of ways. So we got to throw all of that away. That's all I'm saying. Thank you.
All right. Adele, very quickly.
I don't know if there's any scientists in the room, but Brother Red Pill mentioned something about the curls of our hair, and there's science behind the curls of our hair and how it connects with the higher being. The thing that somebody brought to my attention the other day is that our natural hair is one of the only things that defies gravity. And so if there's any scientists, I would like to know more about why our hair, of all hairs, defies gravity. There's a science and a maths in there that connects us with the higher beings.
Right. So you asked the question, Michelle, your reflections.
So I just want to say thank you. The reason why I want to say thank you is because I actually, to be very honest, I wear this because I'm doing some online videos. and I want to attract the masses.
Right.
So I have been wearing my hair purposely like this so I can attract the masses to purchase my video, because I know if I kind of look like them, build that rapport with them, then they'll buy my products. So I'm going to be very honest with you. But from now listening to what you've said, I want to now have the choice that my next video, I'm going to use my natural hair.
All right, we're moving on. Professor Khonsu in the house. Manhood Academy. Come on, what did I say about making noise when we call something? What did I say?
Yes. Greetings to the vanguards on the panel. So I have a question. The question is, does the music industry have a responsibility for the hyper-violence that's happening in our community? And I'll set a tone of the context. I'll put some words out there. I'll say Top Boy. I'll say Blue Story. I'll say the cash cow called in the UK gun and knife crime. So can I address that to the good brothers on the right to start with and then expand it from there? Thank you.
Let's start with Raspect.
This question, boy. Alright, cool. So like, it's an issue, isn't it? Yeah, the music an issue. But whether I'd say it's the core issue, I can't give it that, yeah? Because I think if you take away the music, the scenarios and situations are gonna still be there. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of us are products of our environment, yeah? So me, I rap about, I rap right across from like the streets into consciousness and revolutionary and Marcus Garvey, but that's because I've got beautiful people like you lot in my environment. Do you know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is I've been inspired by the community, yeah, and that started when INAP, that political party started off, yeah. I was inspired by the community to go back in myself, and that's when I wrote a tune called Tendai Mari. You know what I'm saying? But without Shakara's family Al Cabelon propagating Tendai Mari, without INAP establishing, there would have never been a song called Tendai Mari. There might have had a song called Guns and Knives, yeah, because that might have been all that was in my surroundings. So I think that me as an artist, as someone who makes art and knows what it's like when these 15-year-olds are in the studio and they're just writing. They're not like saying, yeah, I want to contribute to the gun and knife crime. No, what they're doing is they've got a brother down the road that tried to run them down with a knife. Their friend done the same thing, so they're just writing it down. And then when they write it down, they put it on YouTube, and all of a sudden they've got 1 million views. They never thought they was going to get 1 million views. They never had a dream of being big of this music thing. It just exacerbates. So what I think is, when you look at our artists, you can look at people like Bugsy Malone. Yeah, he came out talking about a lot of crud. What happened when Bugsy Malone started to become successful? His music changed. He started to talk about money. He started to talk about assets. He started to talk about traveling. So what I'm saying is, we are products of our environment, and I think us as the community, the main thing we can do is change the environment. And I think if we change the environment of our youth, it's going to be definite that we're going to see a change in the lyrics that comes out their mouth.
Three of the biggest artists of this year and last is J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, and your boy Drake.
Yes.
They not gangster rapping. They not. I know this. I understand, but I can only speak from my perspective, and I know that drill music has influenced UK and all of the gangster rap that been coming out of America, where all of this shit really kind of got kicked off. It's a global influence. Hip hop is the #1 genre around the world, and it starts in New York and it starts in America. So I can speak because I know where the influence is coming from. But what I also know is that the influencers have been influenced, and they're influencing the influential. So what I know is this. it ain't cool to be dumb in America no more as an artist. These niggas is being held to a different kind of standards. You just can't get out there and start. Jay-Z can't rap about selling coke no more. He's switching up his quote-unquote modus operandi because he knows that there's a wave going on and he don't want to drown in the ship that's sinking. You understand?
Yep, bring it home.
He switched it up. Who else switched it up? It's a whole bunch of people switched it up. And then you have people like a Ludacris. He got a 4.0 in college. A Lil Wayne. He had a 4.0 in college. Meaning this, there's a whole bunch of smart Negroes playing dumb for y'all because they're playing along with this agenda that these small hats have them playing. They dangling carrots in front of them saying, yo, just kill your people. Just call them a few more bitches. Just send your people, be the Pied Piper and walk them off of the cliff. That's not right. That's not reality. We are poets. You can create if you're a poet, you're a visionary. So I don't care if your environment got all kind of zombies in it, they people dying and everything. You speak life into the microphone. You speak the future. Or a lot of these rappers ain't have a coin. You see them documentaries. Biggie Mama didn't even know he rapped. But he told you he was a big Willie.
All right, bring it
No,
home.
I'm just saying.
Land it.
A lot of these artists don't have what they rap about. They rap it and then it comes into fruition. So they're not necessarily a product of that environment. They're speaking something into creation. So if you could speak negative, you could speak positive. You could speak, there's a movement going on. So the artists that are not vibrating on that frequency as the audience, as the people who got these children, we gotta hold them accountable.
All right. My brother's been waiting patiently. 1 second, Blue. All right, just make your point.
Thank you, brother. I just want to say thank you all for you all look really good and thanks for I value what you're saying and doing. My brothers here, we've been out in these streets. We've buried people. We've put people in jail. There's people in jail. You understand? This is real to me. Like all you're saying. What I want to say to you is the only thing that I have seen work with these children is the knowledge of self and their great history, where they're coming from. That's all that's worked. And the only thing that's going to bring us together, again, is business. Because we all like to make money.
Yes.
That's a common ground. So that will unify us. There's loads more about after, innit?
All right.
Short. Keep it short, people. We're running out of time.
Okay, greetings. My name is Nat the Lyrical Alchemist.
I mean, don't know.
That's right, my brother. 2 real quick points I have to keep it quick and sharp. Basically, the music industry is evil. That's number 1. We have to really understand that the music industry is absolutely evil. So, I just want to wrap this up real quick because I know I'm under pressure. I was doing a work. I was a judge, a panel in Wandsworth Prison. They had a program whereby they were offering £500 for inmates that were coming out to help them with their businesses. It was great. Next to me was an XO recording executive. I was like, what are you doing here? What connection do you have to these young people here? What are you actually doing here? The reason why those people are there is the same reason why you have the son of Lucian Grange. Lucian Grange is the most powerful man in music.
Right.
Elliot. Having Elliot.
6'9".
6'9". Right. Takeshi 6'9". Okay, he's not one of us, but he still represents destruction in our community. The son of the most powerful man in music funded this man to cause all kinds of mad drama in our community, and this sort of stuff happens on a very regular basis. There's another thing, there's a whole lot of conscious artists in this room as well.
I hear me.
They will see us do our thing, and they'll be scared of us. The music industry is terrified of us conscious artists because they know that what we deliver is about to enlighten and uplift our people and our community. So there's an actual intellectual and artistic war against the conscious artists that's stopping us from doing and fulfilling our purpose. So now when it comes to the young people now and what they're producing, I don't think we should actually focus on our young people, what they're producing. It's more what they have access to. Yes. The 90s represented a time more for me of reflection. Now it's glamorization. So Immortal Technique has a song called Dance with the Devil. If anyone listens to that, no one is going to feel good listening to that type of song. That is called reflection. Because it's horrible and heinous. That is, so there's got to be a careful line that we're not glamorizing and reflection. Two different things. Thanks.
Last one, brother, blue pill, very short. Sorry, we're running out of time, people. I'm going to be the villain here now.
You feel me? Once again, we're talking about the effects. You know what I'm saying? And the causation of these particular things is environmental. You feel me? And there's a lot of things that were added into those particular environments. Case in point, I was an executive at a record label, right? For Sony Epic, right? I was in the boardroom meetings. Our artist at the time was Nipsey Hussle. So these record executives who were just Jewish bankers, right? They didn't know anything about the record industry. They would come, because even Nipsey couldn't come into his own meetings. Only us. And I had to come outside and tell them what they said. Big U was there, and the other executives was in there. And they would ask, you know, Big U to ask the artist, like, do you think he could say bitch more? Like, we like it when he says that. You understand? So I physically bore witness to this. I also know about the CIA's involvement in creating a white paper in the 17th because they was terrified what Bob Marley was doing, right? So the CIA found one of their graduates, okay, who was a man named Clive Davis, and Clive Davis was the first one to implement the plan. You know, what they told him to do was to infiltrate black music, and they said let them have their first album and their second album change their production. They were scared of the live instrumentation, the fact that Revolution now had a physical soundtrack, right? It was resonating and causing international uproar in Africa and places like that. They were scared that Bob Marley was going to go on tour with Stevie Wonder in 1980. They said that would change the entire dynamic of Black America diasporically. So what they did is they got Chris Blackwell, who was another Harvard graduate.
Chris Whitehead, you know, Whitehead. Chris Whitehead, you know.
Is it Whitehead?
Whitehead.
Whitehead, well, yeah, Blackwell, you know what I'm talking about, right? And they got Siega, another Harvard CIA operative.
Boston, yep.
Okay. Yep. And then what happened is that they took away the
bring it home,
the Wailers and what have you. Yep. And what did they do? They implemented Yellow Man and they implemented dancehall. But somebody had to be there to receive it. Right? So we're talking about environment, just like gangster rap. When they subverted quote-unquote conscious rap, somebody had to be there to receive, right? They had to be able to speak to the lower aspects of who we are as a people in the community where it resonated enough, where we made these people successful enough, because I don't want to hear to say, oh, white folks just bought them albums and that's how they became millionaires. They had to be co-signed by the community first. We had to have an appetite for destruction first for it to be attractive enough for white America and the rest of the globe to say, we want to bankroll this, so we have a role to play in all of these operations. And I'm sure that they've subverted the music that's coming out of here the same way. So if you think that the CIA and these other people are not involved, knowing how powerful, we only want to tell our children how powerful words are when they're misusing them. Okay? So, right, because the emphasis is not being put on, you know, when the word says, the word is powerful, right? And because the people, our people, they want to throw everything away with religion. They want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. So we're not even making an emphasis on the power of words because the children are saying, oh, that goes with the Bible too. So if I don't believe in Jesus, then I don't believe in nothing. So we're not driving this emphasis home about the power of words. We're not catching these children before they go into a recording booth. And they ribs is touching. So they like, if this is what's popping, I'm not going against the grain and trying to make a socially conscious song and hope I connect with somebody. They're like, I'm going to go in that booth and I'm going to do drill and I'm going to do rhyme or whatever else it is that people is out here listening to, because I want to get on like 6 to 9 as well.
All right. We've got to keep this succinct, people. The time is running now. Robin Walker, then we're moving on to our next question. Master teacher, please.
All right, this may shock people, but I used to be a musician.
I am a classic.
The reason why I'm bringing this up is one of the things that we have to do, especially as adults, especially as the grown-ass people, is we have to elevate people's minds above gangster rap. Because the truth of the matter is not only is gangster rap rubbish, but it's old rubbish. What shocks a lot of people is when I tell them, I teach music as well, that gangster rap started in 1988. Now, let that sink in. It's an old musical form. So if a young man, 15, 16, says the N-word, the B-word, selling drugs, shooting people, stabbing people, I can then tell them, you realise that Eazy-E said the same thing in 1988.
That's right.
So what you're coming with not only isn't new, it isn't you. All you're doing is copying somebody else's stuff, old somebody else's stuff. So ultimately, we've got to raise the culture above this. Now, my background, for those people that don't know, is I used to be a jazz man, and I was taught by, among other people, Courtney Pine.
That's right.
And it was Courtney Pine that insisted that people need to read Chancellor Williams.
That's
It was
right.
Courtney Pine that insisted that people need to understand people like Dr. Ben. And so ultimately, my training comes out of that. What that stuff was doing was teaching black people to elevate, whereas what the gangster rap stuff is doing is keeping people at a 1988 level, but pretending it's new. So ultimately, we need to get the adults on a level where we can raise the young people, where when they're listening to this stuff, they realize, sorry, I'm above this. This isn't saying anything to me. And that is what will kill that music off.
All right, we're moving on. I'm sorry, guys, we've got to move forward. The clock is against us. We have a question from another presenter. She's a content creator on YouTube. Round of applause for Simply Divine.
Good evening. This question is a little bit controversial. Do you think that God and religion has let down black people?
I'm first of all going straight to the pastor. The question was, if you didn't hear it, has God and religion let down black people?
This question sounds actually more controversial than it is. I actually don't feel that it's possible for God to let down black people. I do think it's possible for the instruments like the church, or if you want to say a mosque, or if you want to say some sort of institution that's a custodian of spirituality, to fail to be that intermediary between God and the people, and therefore people feel let down and they project down to God. I think that's more of a realistic explanation of what may have happened. And if you're talking about the church, I think we have to be honest. I think the church has done a lot and continues to do a lot. I was talking.
And I want to stretch that out to the mosque as well. I'm talking about any religion.
Okay, yeah, and that's fine. We can extrapolate outwards if we want. And all I'm saying is, all those entities, whether they're traditional African religions, whether they're churches, whether they're mosques, whatever they are, all of them can do more. And when they don't do more, it leads people to a position of disappointment. I was saying in the church this morning, the church, I can only speak for the church with authority. It's the most organized and the most systematized cohort within the black community. It's one of the only institutions that has parity with every other institution. It's doing some stuff, but it can do more. And similarly to the point about political parties, if you get a critical mass that puts the right amount of pressure on churches, on mosques, on any form of religious institution, you're going to get more alignment with the people, because the people who have power are going to recognize it as a critical mass. So we're doing some stuff. I don't need to be defensive about it. I know what we do. We do over £3 billion worth of work in this, just in London alone. So we've done the maths. We know what we do. It's easy to talk about. When people get buried, we bury the children. We do the work when everyone's finished crying and everyone's finished cussing. We continue to feed and to provide resources for families. We do. We don't have to come out and boast about it. Everybody knows what we do. We can do more, and we need to do more. But I don't think it's God that's let down the black community. I think it's the instruments of religion that have let down the black community, and we need to do better. Simple as that.
And then we're going to go.
Yeah, so has the God let down black people? And has religion, what?
Has God and religion let down black people?
Religion has, the etymology for religion is to tie down. Religion has tied down its intended target. And when I speak about religion, I'm quoting it from the doctrine of discovery. I'm speaking it from the point of the papal bulls. I'm talking about what the Holy See, what Pope Innocent put out in 1493, that decreed that the Roman Catholic Church is to conquer in his name anybody who they deem as quote-unquote a pagan or a savage. And those were Africans and those were Native Americans who were in touch with spirituality. Those were actually people who were living in society where gold was such a commodity that they was like, oh, you want a nugget? Go ahead, you good. You know what I'm saying? That same gold is what basically has enriched this continent, Europe. The potato famine and, you know, all of these things that were taking place before the invasion of the paradise. When God was letting white people down. You dig what I'm saying? And in 1491, Christopher Colon, aka Christopher Columbus, was at the Battle of Alhambra in Spain with Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand, and they conquered the last vestige of the quote-unquote Arab invasion, the Reconquista, that was the Moorish Empire, and they basically began what is known now as the New World. And that was the end of the old world. And do you know how the New World was ushered in? At the end of a sword. You did what I'm saying? There was a conquering that took place on a global level. The globe was cut in two spheres. Yeah. One was given to Portugal, the coast of Africa, Pepper Coast, Ivory Coast, Gold Coast, Cape Verde and everything. And the other sphere was given to the Spaniards who went forth in the name of Jesus, aka Caesar Bourgeois, because it wasn't the Jesus that they are basically worshiping in Ethiopia. That wasn't Christ consciousness. That wasn't the Christos.
It'd be Jesus.
So, what I'm saying is, there was a plan set forth, and we're having this conversation about the quote-unquote effects of said plan. So I'm going to get to the head of the snake, and I don't judge nobody, but I'm saying that if you want corpus delicti, meaning that bring the body forth, I could show you where the bones is buried.
Jatali. Someone pass Jatali a mic. Pass Jatali a mic.
I mean, it's funny, I was going to bring it to everything that Red basically brought it to. So just to clarify, also to add to what he was saying, how can you value and cherish a religion, right? When this person came to you and was like, give me your gold, I'll give you a book, right? That's what they basically did and said. They came and then you take this and then you push down your own God and gods and goddesses and then start to create a division that if you believe in multiple gods or goddesses or one God or nature, if nature is your God, that there's something wrong in that, right? And I feel like that's where religion is an issue because there's so much separatism. If you can say, because you have earrings in your ear, that you are not of God and you're going to go to hell, there is something wrong with that religion to me. And if you can turn around and tell somebody, oh, the Catholic Church, these popes and people have raped all these people and we knew they were raping children, so we sent them to Africa and Asia and took them out of the UK and America so they can deal with the people in another place and we'll deal with the issues later. And then the Catholic Church this year in 2019, 2019, they all gathered to discuss important matters. And then they said, hey, we're not going to discuss what the penalty should be for these rapists. And then you continue going to that church every Sunday. What image are you giving out to the world? That it's acceptable? That you rape our children and it's okay? So I just think that religion, we are the people that back and feed these religions. And we are the people who go to church every Sunday and put money in that pan. But before you put money in that pan, make sure that that pastor or priest is actually being held accountable.
I'm going to let the pastor respond and I'm going to start back to the audience and I'm coming back to the panel and then we're wrapping up.
don't need to be defensive about this. I'll explain why. There's a logical inconsistency here. You can't talk about the colonization of the African mind being free and only equate Christianity to the missionary movement when it predates it by hundreds of years.
Yeah, right.
It's a logical... No, hold on. Slow down.
Christianity was created.
Slow down. No, hold on.
Hold on, let's keep it in order.
The easiest thing to do is
Are you talking about Coptic Christianity? I mean,
yes, it doesn't matter how far back we go.
Christianity and white supremacist Christianity that we practice today are not the same.
Yeah, but hold on. I understand what you're saying. But what I'm saying is that you can't just say, actually, I'm only going to start at this point. Because if you look, for example, at the traditional Pentecostal churches in the country at the moment, the kind of work they're doing is what I would classify as liberative work. They're doing work in terms of economic empowerment. They're doing work in terms of investing in communities and seeing social change. They're doing a significantly different piece of work.
Gentrification?
No.
Because that's in the States, that's what we see. Our churches are banking far more than the churches here, and they're doing nothing.
Understood, and that's why I made the point earlier. And I intentionally don't want to be defensive about this because I know what churches are doing. But I just don't want the church to...
What are they doing?
Listen, if you go online...
Who are they doing it for?
If you go online, you can look at a report that's been developed by the Cinema Network. It was a piece of research done for
London reports. We want the results.
Hold on a minute.
What's the question?
Let me finish. This is the problem. Let's have a decent conversation.
All right.
Let me just...
Can I make this one second. All right. Remember the rules were at the beginning. We're going to keep it in order because we're family. And I know that this is a very emotive subject, but I thought that we're going to tackle it because these things need to be discussed. So, Pastor, please wrap up.
Okay, very simple point. You said you want to see the results. The actual report is about results on projects that have been enacted by churches at grassroots communities. Of course you can. You can go on the Cinema Network.
Well, INAP, which I talked about earlier, and Shakara's here, I have to say that when we did have INAP and had the meeting, it was Pastor Huey from South London who opened up the church for us to use the church. And he's a very well-known Pan-African pastor in our community. I'd put it on the mentality of the people within the religion. And one thing I have to say is we could get onto the religious brothers 100%, but we can't act like once we dropped religion, we got home-tech hustlers. We got problems even among the spiritual community. We leave religion, we go to spiritualism, and it's Hebrew versus more versus this one and that one. So we have to realize that we got an internal divisive mindset, and whether it's got religion or not, we need to deal with that.
All right.
Thank you. On GKTV. I'm going to ask the panel, because it's very interesting hearing this debate in regards to religion. And if anybody knows the great Dr. Neely Fuller, he left the template for us based on Rail Cell Web. The beginning of that is religion, and the reason why religion is beginning of that, because everything in society, whether it be economics, whether it be law, whether it be politics, everything else comes out of religion. Now, we can be very subjective when we pick from parts of history. Very subjective, People pick from the 15th century. People pick from the 8th century, Yet, fundamentally, this is the point I want to bring across to the panel and then ask you the question, very quickly, Fundamentally, it's this. Everything has its origin in Africa. It doesn't matter whether it's religion called Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Buddhism, Zoroastrianism, Hinduism, Freemasonry. It all has its origin in Africa. They gave us 66 books of the Bible. The most you have is 81 with the Ethiopian Bible. Do you know our original Bible from our original religion had 297 books? You went to the British Museum today. They moved out the Shabaka Stone, which is the oldest records on creation. So I'm going to ask you all, what was the original religion of ancient Africa, of ancient Tamaray, of Ganawa, of when they called or when they found the Garden of Eden, each and every single one of you, what was the original religion of Africa? Not spirituality, religion. Thank you.
All right, Sarah, very shortly. I can't be short when it comes to religion. But I'll try. I'm coming. Has God let the black community know the black community let themselves down?
Yes, brother.
Has no proof. Okay, so we believe in gods all the time. We believe in gods. There's no proof for any god. Yet we will let a God that cannot be proven divide us. We'll be Muslim, we'll be Hebrew, we'll be Moor, we'll be Christian, we'll be this part of the Christianist, we'll be this part of the Christian sect, that part of the Muslim sect, we'll be everything. And not one God has come out of the sky and said, you know what, it's me. None of them have. But we still stay believing in stuff when it hasn't been proven. Now, when you go back to ancient African spiritual systems, we didn't deal just in belief, we dealt in science. We dealt in sciences, okay? And if science matched up with all the other things, we would deify the thing that the science matched up with, and we will have some kind of deification of something else. Abrahamic religion has taken that away. Abrahamic religion has us waiting for a white man literally to come out the sky. Okay, so God has not let black people down. Black people have let themselves down by believing in something that cannot be proven.
All right. All right, Raspect, then no.
So has God let black people down? Yeah, let's put that micro question on a macro scale. Yeah. So has God let the world down? So when everything's going bad in the world, is it God or is it us as human beings? So if tomorrow as human beings we decide to stop doing the wickedness, the evil, the divisiveness, then the world changes. So it's on the human beings. It ain't got nothing to do with no higher force. We are making choices every day. And if we make that macro example to a micro example to the black community, it's on us. And then we've got to say a name, Marcus Garvey. Yeah, because Marcus Garvey said, stop blaming the white man, stop blaming God, rise up, you mighty people, and accomplish what you will. Now, Marcus Garvey was a Christian. He was a Christian. Yeah, Nat Turner, we talk about Nat Turner, he didn't read the Bible before he went for the revolution, do you believe me? Yeah? So what I'm trying to say is, Malcolm X was an Orthodox Muslim when he died. Orthodox. Yeah? Went on his Hajj, came back, set up, he's an Orthodox Muslim. Now you have black people that are saying they're not sitting at the table with people of the Abrahamic faith, creating more division in our community. You understand? And these same black people, these same black people that are creating that division within our community are sitting down with Tommy Robinson, the EBL, the BNP, and then they have the audacity to argue.
Let's bring it up.
I'm going to bring it home. But I just want, what I'm saying is I'm going to sit down with my Muslim brother, my Hebrew brother, my Kemet brother, my Semitic brother, my I don't believe in no religion brother. Yeah? I don't care. Yeah? Your religion is sacred. And we have to respect that. Yeah? It's sacred. But we can't use it as a division tactic against each other. Yeah? And I leave it like that. 1-5.
I completely agree with Raspect that, we do have to respect and understand that some people need religion, and religion is important to some people. And I think also as well, I think it signifies just how much we're calling out for collectivism and unity. And however that happens, that's fine. But we can't denigrate or separate from each other based on religion. If you're black, and we should all be unifying and using these, do you get me? That's the same, all of these different religions. Always remember that we are all African, we are all part of the diaspora, and also we are all displaced. So in that, there is unity, and in that, if we come together, do you understand how powerful?
A lot of what people are saying right now, it's very disconnected. Oh, I follow this religion, that religion. We shouldn't judge one another. It's like, no nation is not built if you do not take judgment on what is wrong or what is right. Period. If you can't say, we can judge, women shouldn't do this, men shouldn't do that, and we're going to judge you for that. If you're like, no, that's too harsh, we're not building a nation, forget about it, let's move on. Okay, religion, garbage. If you are Muslim, slavery, they killed your people. If you're Christian, slavery, they killed your people. The book itself is a historical book, and it's tribal, it's not meant for everybody. So let's understand that first of all. So forget Christianity, forget Islam. No, go back to your original tribal traditions. That's where the spirituality comes from. But yeah, it's true.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the debate.
Achomi na ajele gbojo kwe ni biane nyenko gotkushTV nyeyiradon. My name is Na Ajele gbojo kwe, and right now you're watching gotkushTV. Thank you.
gotkushTV. After a brief sabbatical, your #1 black conscious media platform is back. Since 2015, gotkushTV has blazed a trail in creating high-quality cultural content for the black community UK and worldwide. We've rolled out the red carpet to the widest array of community organizations ever on one visual media platform, bringing you events like Messiah Storm, the Black Marketing Film Festival, ALD, the Black Genius Festival, to name but a few. We launched UK Fire 32, your #1 platform for artists with message in the music. We dropped the trailer for the Group Economic Show, and you made it viral. We brought you heavyweights like Swiss, Mota Baruka, Robin Walker, Esther Stanford, Kayne Andrews, The Flowissist, Omar, Jahazel, Raspect, Fyahbinghi, Cheryl Phoenix, Dead Prez, KRS-One, and more. We collaborated with Defenders Entertainment to drop the Black Lives Matter mixtape and launched our music video production services from this project. Now, with such a monumental track record, it's time to launch Phase 2, gotkush 2.0. Building on this strong foundation, we've been working hard behind the scenes, getting ready to move into the next stage of development, bringing you new shows, higher quality, and of course, fresh edutainment. Stay tuned for more UK Fire 32, the #1 platform for bars of substance, bringing you an array of artists, spitting the finest in all forms of black music, from the up-and-coming to the fully established. We whet your appetite with the trailer, and soon we will be releasing the full pilot episode of the Group Economic Show, soon to be followed by regular installments as we raise the financial literacy and economic productivity of our community. Look out for the new shows. The Insight, hosted by gotkush's own Shakara, as he kicks the ballistics and drops the cultural scientifics with weekly breakdowns looking deep into all issues pertaining to black culture. And Decipher, home of gotkushTV in-depth discussion and fiery debate, a dynamic panel ready to exchange opinions on all the topical issues of the day. All this, plus the community news, views and reviews you are used to. And there's more. Our production team is available for hire to cover your events and all filming needs. Contact us at gotkushtv.co.uk for more information. Stand by all black businesses, as we have monumental advertising, sponsorship and networking opportunities coming your way soon. And very soon. To stay on board the gotkush train, there's 4 things you can do. 1. Subscribe to our channel. Click that bell and join us at gotkushTV on all social media. 2. Like. Let us know you're feeling our content by hitting that ever so important button of approval. 3. Comment. Give us your feedback and opinions in the comment section. 4. Share. Spread the word by hitting that share button and exposing your circle to the magnificence that is GKTV. Stay tuned for more developments in the pipeline. We look forward to you joining us as we continue to develop fresh, multifaceted content from black music to black group economics and more, bringing you the complete picture of black culture. gotkushTV. Beyond entertainment, beyond debates, we put the power in black media. gotkushTV is supported by Better Marketing Mastery, Defenders Entertainment, the Manhood Academy for Boys, Center of Pan-African Thought, Black History Walks, the Al-Kebo Land Revivalist Movement, and Marifa Circle.